guys, it's Patricia, and you are watching the very first official podcast of Design Your Finance. Yay! So, just so you know, I am figuring things out along the way. I know that I'm doing a lot of things, and I don't want to stop the momentum. So, I am putting this out first while I'm setting up my cover art and anchor. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, I so appreciate your time to watch and listen to this. This is a personal channel where I talk to you about how designing your finances would impact your life and vice versa. So we will be delving in and checking our own mental health and behaviors that trigger us to do such things in life. The moment we understand what our own body needs, what we want in life, and the limitations we have, we can design a life that is worthwhile. So I am going to share my experiences on how I deal with my own crisis and how it's helped me for the long run. So this podcast is going to be about what I originally thought, especially with my YouTube channel, that it's not just about personal finance, but it's also about personal development. I love improving myself, and I think that if everybody finds the joy in doing this, and even though there are mistakes in the future, there's hardships in life, it's actually worthwhile to still continue to still pursue, because at the end of the day, you yourself's benefiting from it. Right? Today we are going to talk about the quarter life crisis, how to deal with it, and how I manage my own crisis in a pandemic, especially in this pandemic. So please grab some water or coffee or tea or juice, healthy juice, organic juice, and let's dive right in. Okay, so what has been happening? Quarter life crisis. This is like, at first I was always talking about midlife, like I'm having a midlife crisis, but then I got called out that it's not a midlife because I'm like in my 20s, so it's a quarter life. Okay, so I researched more, and yeah, quarter life crisis, I think, no, not I think, but I observed that I've been dealing with this ever since, I don't know, maybe when I finished uni. I think that's when it started, or like at least during my senior year. So right now, what has been happening? Like I asked, well, actually, honestly, I'm having bad habits today. Like, and I wanted to change them. Thinking about it, last year I was just, I don't know, for me it was perfect. I was so disciplined. I was consistent, and I had all the willpower that I could ever use. But like right now, it's a struggle. It's complicated to do it on a day to day, and it's just like, I don't know, it feels it's confusing, right? Like even now, like thinking about it and trying to explain it, it's actually confusing because I've done it. Like I'm already past that season where, okay, I can handle this, like it's this easy. I understood the concepts behind it, like all the needs, and yeah, just basically, like for example, I know what it's like to be disciplined, and I also know what it's like to not have that discipline, but you just want to make things happen. Yeah, I'm motivated, I'm inspired to do it. And I don't know, right now, I am the same. Like, all the things that I've been thinking, all the things that I've wanted ever since, there's a commitment, but I feel like I'm still stuck on that day one. Like, it's so hard to just, move things and, just getting things done. And maybe it's a I don't know, it's a habit of mine that I don't really like reward myself so much, even though I just, ticked off that to-do list, and I just don't. Like, growing up for me, it just doesn't make me happy. Like, okay, you've done this, so do next. Like, that's, anyone can do that. So why be happy about it? And I know that it's such a toxic trait to even, begin with, because I know you really have to, it's a way for you to manage things. And if you can't do that for yourself, you can't just like tap yourself in the back and say, you're doing very well. A lot of people don't even have the courage to do that, and you've managed to do that. So just good job. But for me, it feels like it's so easy because you're you. I mean, I've had so much high expectations of myself that, fear of, yeah, failure. There's also that perfection thing. And so I really wanted to get rid of that, or not necessarily get rid of that because, yeah, it's going to take time, but I just really want to manage that. I mean, all these things that I'm going to be talking about and what I've been talking about, it's just a way to managing these things. I mean, I believe that there's no bad things and good things. There's only like, the perspective point of views that like which side of the coin you're on. And I feel like, I mean, there's this one, I don't know where I've heard it from exactly, but he goes to say that there is no such thing as good or bad decisions, but there's only that right decision for you. And yeah, that's really my point. It only matters is if you make a stand on that right decision. I mean, because we have this culture, like the society tells us what to do, or what to think, what is right, what is wrong. And I think because people are the ones making it, and people are bound to make mistakes, and that's okay because that's what makes us truly human. And it's all part of, the nature and things like that. So I think that we need to, sort of manage the expectations, and especially the things that we think to ourselves. Hold on. I actually made a bulletin, like a script, just so I don't forget, or like I tend to go off the topic most of the time, so I'm trying to like get back on track. But okay, let me see if I can connect this to another topics and whatsoever. Okay, so right now I'm actually like having bad habits, and I'd like to replace them with the good ones. So one of the bad habits that I'm actually trying to change, because right now I am sleeping late, but I don't know if it's not really late, but like around 12 or 1. And it's because I can't like just shut off my mind. I mean, I'm in bed by 12 or sometimes 1, but there are times that I just don't shut my mind, and I just think of all either the crazy things or just all the like ideas popping out. Like I just want to get on it and work. And because I heard about this thought leader, he's a doctor, and he said about how important sleep is, and you really have to do some shut eye, or at least lessen your blue and the light, especially in the rooms, because it activates your melatonin. There's a certain time that a melatonin would like produce in that time period, and that's what makes you sleepy, right? And you have to make sure that it's not disrupted, so that you could fall asleep. But like for me, I really just look at my laptop, look at lights on all the time until 12 or like 1. And lately it's not 12 anymore, it's 1. So I'm just scared to like even go through 2 3, or just changing it up, because I really, really, really want to wake up in the morning. I love mornings. I love like the first day, because I feel like I could do so much, I could get some things done, and it's just so peaceful. Like you can have all the time in the world for yourself, and you could really manifest and pray and things like that, because everyone's just so quiet, no one's disturbing you. And every time, like I wake up at 8 a.m. and sometimes I wake up at 7, like alarm goes off at 7, and I manage to get out of bed by 8, or like latest is 9. and it's just like so noisy because everyone's like out there. There are people like selling vegetables, and you could see them. And we also have like this taho, like, I mean, I understand that they really need to get to work. I mean, that's their, that's how they eat, right? If they don't work, then, and for me to even be sleeping and not working, so I understand, but it does really frustrates me that everyone's so noisy around the house. And I mean, not around the house, but like outside, like the neighbors and things like that. So I just really wanted to get back to waking up early. And there are a lot of like arguments, well, not actually arguments, but like there are a lot of researches out there about waking up early and things like that. But as much as possible, I'm just like trying. The way I manage it is I just get 8 hours of sleep, and that's what I've been doing. So if I sleep at 12, I have to wake up at 8 because at least that's full 8 hours. And I think that's what I've been committing to. So the way I need to really do something about, changing it so that I can wake up at like 4 or 5. Another thing is like exercising. I used to really exercise. Like, I used to go to the gym every day, like Monday to Friday. I go there like for 2 hours, and that's when the time that I feel most alive. I'm so inspired. I'm so like, I don't know. I get moving. I'm confident and all these things, like all the happy benefits, like what an exercise does. I mean, I try to go back to exercising and just doing workouts at home, but it's actually hard because I'm really drawn to I easily absorb energy. That is why I really need to get out there. But like right now, since I'm like forcing myself to not go out, and yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like because of the lockdown, parang ako na lang talaga. And it feels like I don't really see many people that often. So, yeah, that's also one thing about the gym. So, I think that's also one of the reasons why I want to slowly at least stay consistent with my workouts, because I just, even though I'm not going to the gym, I just really want to, be disciplined about it, because I think one of the reasons why I'm having these so-called crises is because I'm not really taking care of myself that well. Like, anxieties are coming up because I'm not, I'm like, my room's always dark and things like that. I'm always on the internet, and all I see on the internet are just, I mean, I'm not saying that it's like all toxic, but it's more on like a lot of positive things. I don't really talk to people. I feel like I couldn't see people there because, this whole algorithm thing, like once you like something, that's all you'll ever gonna see, which is what I hate as well. Yeah, one of these days, actually I am doing that. Like, I promise, like that's my goal. And one of the practices that I'm changing is to do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, at least 3 times workout every week. And another thing is like my manifestations and journaling. So I got back to my journaling, which is, I don't know, I feel happy about it, but sometimes I don't know, it's confusing because it feels like I'm journaling all the time, but because I have, different, like, I have Notion, I have the Notes app, like so many apps, and my journals are all over the place. So I actually just bought a limited edition a journal from Angel Veridiano, and I kind of like that manifestation of hers to, just do this. And I've really been attracted to this whole manifestation. I tried meditating, and that's also one of like the overarching goal that I really want is to really meditate, and because I really just want to take control of my mind, but I couldn't do that yet. So I'm just like trying to, okay, just do it 10 minutes a day. And there's this like a week that I did on money manifestations, but I ended up not finishing it because I got bored, and it feels like I just couldn't do it, so I stopped. So yeah, there's this thing. So I'm really like just trying to get back to, yeah, just trying to get back to a different thing, which is, I know I'm happy to do it. I just have this journal prompts, so it mixes like there's this like journal, like there's this prompts about, like what are you feeling, yada yada yada, and then there's another thing like certain questions. It really changes. At least I have two of them. So, and sometimes like when things just pop out, I just like, okay, just document it, just really do it. I mean, yeah, so I'm taking small steps one day at a time. So yeah, and going back to language learning, it's the same thing. I used to be very so passionate about, learning languages, but now I'm like, I'm just same thing. I'm slowly going back and back. Plus, I have my work cut out for me. I have so much to do with work, and I'm still not halfway there. And I acknowledge that because, I don't want to, like, I'm trying to not disappoint myself by wishing that I could achieve that sooner, because it's going to hurt me. Yeah, I just need to find a way to enjoy the process and really sticking to, you know, be disciplined about the itsy bitsy, the necessary things that. Anyway, so about quarter life crisis, I also watch a TED talk about it. It's from Charmaine Chu, I believe. She's a model and she's Asian, by the way. So when she turned 21, she was like in mass comm or communication arts. Like later on, she was like booked or something. Like she was scouted because she had this physical, like she's beautiful, she's tall. So she was scouted for modeling and acting, and so she did that. So and an influencer as well. So she was able to earn once she graduated. A few years later, it was like her lifestyle. And in the midst of, I think when she was about like 24, 25, just like me, she had that quarter life crisis wherein she's not really happy or she's not fulfilled with the work that she does, even though she's earning this. And of course there's things like rejections, because obviously they do that. They eat rejections breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's part of the job. And I mentioned her because I wanted to share what she said, which is 20s are the best years of her life. It's the best time to make massive calculated risks because we can afford to make mistakes. And that's like one of the sentences that really like put a spark in me, because and also the same thing, Gary Vee was also saying the same thing, like of course you are going to experience all these doubts and things, like this crisis, like it's you're supposed to go through that, because at this age you're not supposed to know everything, right? And I think that if we have compassion and like patience with ourselves, I mean, I know easy to say, hard to do, but like it's okay that we are going through that, and we're expected to go through that because we don't really know everything, and that's okay. I just saw her like yesterday about this TED talk because I was researching. And one thing that I really liked about what she said is that it's the best time to make massive calculated risks, right? Massive calculated risks. And I like to point out on that because, I mean, come on. We are young and we are really capable of managing. I mean, managing even the biggest of risk, the biggest of mistakes. Like it's easy for us to adapt because our bodies are made to adapt, and it's also like easier because we don't have our own our own kids and things like that. I mean, it's different for everyone, but like, the like where you are right now, even if you make mistakes, it's okay because you can always fall back. I mean, you know how there's like when you think about a baby or when you look at a baby, you just can't scold them like if they fall down and they're just learning to walk because I mean, they just got out of the world and they're just really learning about it. Why are you disappointed in that person just cuz he fell down? Honestly, there are like companies and people like that who yeah, I don't know. They get disappointed at you just cuz you don't know these things. And yeah, been there, done that. I don't know. Like for me, you'd understand why people put so much expectations of you, but I just don't understand even myself. I mean, I do have high expectations of myself. I don't understand how I'm like the least compassionate person I ever will be to myself. I don't know how to forgive myself. Like if I make a mistake, I'm just so hard on myself. And I know, I mean, I do forgive myself. I've been trying to learn that, and I learned that the hard way. Even forgiving another person, I've already done that a thousand. Wait, not a thousand times. Like, I did it like many times. When it comes to doing that thing to yourself, it's complicated. But like, I don't know. This is like a reminder to me as well that I need to just continue on. I mean, I'm doing okay naman. It's not really like, yeah. I just really like the calculated risks. I mean, come to think of it, you have the not I'm not saying all the resources, but you have the energy and the time to not necessarily have the money because we are building our financial portfolio. So, but we do have the time and energy to get back up on our feet. And I'm saying calculated risk because I'm not saying like go on and make just random mistakes and all that, because that's also bad. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but I just want you to, look at like see your overarching goal and like go back, step by step, strategizing on how you get there. And also like plan on how you can do that in a more fun enjoyable way. I'm just learning to do that like recently, I think last month, because I was updating my whole Notion page, and I actually found this how do you call this, like a goal setting. Is this like a hold on. Yeah, but this is like a goal setting and year planning. And believe me, I haven't done this in like my 23 years of experience of existence. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I not doing this? But yeah, like right now, I've done it, and I think it's easier to backtrack it when I'm 6 months away from today. I can just look back and see, okay, this is the progress I made. And I'm actually just looking forward to that as well. I think for me, it's easier to measure it compared to before when I just, I'm not really like a vision board type of gal. And like I said, I don't really do the journaling, but lately I've been doing that journaling and manifesting. And actually my meditation is my manifesting, like how I meditate. I journal them as well. Sometimes if I don't do prompts, I read the Bible, like do devotion. And I've done that like in my senior year, and I just really wanted to go back. So yeah, that's a case. Where was I going with this? Hold on. Let me get back to where was I going with this? Yeah, so anyway, for the whole goal setting, I'm just going to like put that in the show notes or in the like description box, so that you can also do it for yourself. I encourage you to do that for yourself. And like even if it's already Feb, I mean, I've done it like just a few days back, and it's so freeing to see that you have, this set of goals. And I know, like, for people who are sarcastic in life, like, how about spontaneity and all these things? But, like, don't plan on things, like, have it in detail. I mean, like, I know that there is a reason why people get disappointed because they so badly want this at this time, at this, season, at this, it's like praying to God and, like, asking Him to give him that wish or that prayer. But, like, honey, it's not like that. When you pray, it's like, how, like, kids remind or ask for things to parents, like, when back when we were young, we just, like, we remind our parents, like, Mom, can I ask for, or, like, can we go to Disneyland, or, like, can you buy me this one? Like, you don't demand them, and basically you also don't know how you get that, but you just know that your mom is gonna give that to you. From time to time, you just remind them, like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I'm so excited to go to this place and all that. And of course, your parents are always gonna be thinking about that, and they would want you to make happy, and you just have to wait. You just have to work for it. Of course, I don't want to entitle you, but you still need to work on it. Like, work it in prayer, work in manifesting it through actions, and yes, God is going to give that to you. The universe is going to give that to you. You're going to attract that when you do all the things that you're supposed to do. And that's it. Oh my gosh. You know what? Like, I'm talking, but, like, at the back of my mind, I'm thinking of other things. Like, oh shoot, I'm, like, past 30 minutes talking, and I need to, like, move past it. But, like, I'm enjoying it. I feel like I have so much to say, and I don't want to rush things, but I do have to. So it's kind of like that. So, okay, let's just move on. So, I guess I'm just going to share two of the things I'm doing on how I manage it. So the first thing is you have to get out of your comfort zone, whether it's language learning, exercising, meeting friends. And because we're locked in, it's different for people who are going out for work. But again, you have your Saturdays and Sundays to basically, like, use that for you and your home. So there is that. Enough with the Netflix and chill, type of, like rest. You can rest like that, right? Or even sleep, because that is important as well. If you are doing it on X amount on a basis, like a daily or weekly basis, I don't think you are, like, progressing yourself towards something. Yes, you can watch a few episodes of that Netflix and getting out of your comfort zone, like trying on new things and tasks. It's actually, like, encouraging. Honestly, it changes like your whole perspective in things. You become so much more, and surprisingly, you'd find it enjoyable pala. No, oh, you're doing this, and it's like, why haven't I done this? Right? Because the one thing that scares me the most, well, not actually because I'm scared of a lot of things, but, like, I'd have to live my life the same thing like last year. So I don't want to look at my life, my whole 70 years of my life, doing the exact same thing. That scares me. That scares me so much because I'm losing a lot of my potential, and I really want to progress. Yeah, like getting out of your comfort zone, and even just once, like maybe on a Saturday, you just want to, go to this restaurant and try to order this, I don't know, scary food or this vegetable, and just go out by yourself. You don't need to invite friends. Be your own date. That's also one thing that I really wanted to do, because sometimes I just get bored by myself. But, like, Wow, I mean, I'm not really bored by myself, but like sometimes I just stare into space and I don't know what to do. I try not to look at my phone so much when I'm outside because it feels like yeah, I'm outside, but like I'm looking at my phone. It doesn't make sense. That's all I do at the house, or yeah. And then the second thing is social media detox. This works like 100%. I've been doing this since uni, and this is very, very helpful because when you detox, let's say I promise to not look at social media or not open my social media for 30 days, and I realized I do that, okay? And once I get back there, it's like the same thing. It's like I did not go away. So it feels like I don't know how to say it. You know the feeling of FOMO, right? If you're not there, you just don't know like what's the tweets are, what's the, what are the posts. It's actually different when that's your means of communication, cuz I did social media detox. I think back in my senior year, but I couldn't deactivate my Facebook because of the groups there, the school groups, and the school announcements. It's there. So, for example, let's say for the 30 days na detox, once a week I check it, or like siguro once a day I check it from just this time period. Yeah, I just need to actually it becomes normal naman. I don't have to check it like from time to time. I don't know, it's freeing and the fact na you come back and parang walang nangyari because you don't have to keep up with everyone's lives. And yeah, it really works, promise. That's why if mabantayan ninyo, lately I couldn't even reply ASAP because I just look at my SNS like on a schedule. Like sometimes in the morning or during the day, and then later on kay pagagabi na. So yeah, just try that out. Yeah, that's it. And I really appreciate you guys for being on this journey with me. This is like my first long format sort of podcast type. And yeah, I'm hoping for more. Actually, this is like okay. I've really been thinking about this for quite a while now, but I don't like I told you, I've been thinking about it since pandemic. And because I enjoy these things, I just when like nag-listen kag podcast but like you want to engage, you want to join the conversation. So yeah, I am doing my own thing cuz I just want to talk about it. So I'm hoping that you do too. I don't know how to end this thing, but like, yeah, I hope that this helped you so far. I will get back to you with the next episode. See you then. Please keep safe. Okay. じゃあ、またね。